Alright, Shalom. First, I'll give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yashai, Bashem Kadash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are learning truth and sincerity, and the women and the children who follow. So, have an article I wanted to go over. It's dated today, March 23rd, 2021. It's from NBCnews.com, and I'll go ahead and put the link in the description. It says Evanston, Illinois, on Monday became the first U.S. city to make reparations available to its black residents for the past discrimination and the lingering effects of slavery. Okay, so if you don't know what reparations was supposed to be 40 acres and a mule. When they freed the slaves back in the day, they promised, the U.S. government promised 40 acres and a mule. But I want to go into, let me see, this is, Psalm 55 in verse 20. It says, He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Okay? He broke off his covenants. He broke his covenants with the natives. He broke his covenants with the so-called Negroes and the Hispanics as well. Okay? You can't trust nothing that this devil says. So, 150 years later, you're going to give us reparations now, and it's only one town in one state? And when I read these reparations that they're giving you, they're probably going to make you jump through all these kind of hoops to get it anyways, but it's a joke. It's a joke at this point. So, like I said, it says, he had broken his covenants, or his words in his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, because he told us that he was going to give us 40 acres and a mule, and he didn't give us nothing but what? But rape, rob, and murder. Okay? But Jim Crow, that's what he gave us. He gave us Jim Crow. It says the Chicago Suburban City Council voted 8-1 to distribute $400,000 to eligible black households. Each qualifying household would receive $25,000 for home repairs or down payment on property. So, that's not 40 acres and a mule. You know, basically a $25,000 toward a house or a land plot that you then have to build upon. And this ain't like back in the day when it was readily land available, or that money could have actually stretched and you could have done something. Okay, $25,000 for the house is nothing. That's all it is. It's a down payment, and then you gotta pick up that mortgage for the next 30 years. So really, at the end of the day, the bank's gonna come out more than that $25,000 that they're giving you. But it says qualifying residents must either have lived in or been a direct descendant of a black person who lived in Evanston between 1919 and 1969, who suffered discrimination in housing because of the city ordinances, policies, and practices. So it's not even reparations for slavery. Now this is really reparations for being discriminated against in that 50-year period between 1919 and 1969. So your granddaddy or his father had to be there, or your grandma, or you had to be a direct descendant from a person who experienced these different bouts of discrimination. So it's not for slavery. Like it says it's first black residents for past discrimination and the lingering effects of slavery. So they're not getting reparations for slavery. They're basically trying to throw you a biscuit for the discrimination that they did. All right, it says the program is being funded through donations and revenue from a 3% tax on the sale of recreational marijuana. So they legalized marijuana and they gave you 3% as a reparation towards your house or towards buying a house. And it says the city has pledged to distribute 10 million over 10 years. You see this face? Yeah, because it's BS is what it is. Because that little reparation that you're given, it don't even compare. This is Exodus chapter 21 verse 16. It says, "And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death." All right, we were stolen. You came over to the African continent in the west coast of Africa, and you stole us and brought us here. All right, you stole Native Americans and sent them across the ocean as well. We're found in your hand to this day. You may have so-called freed the slaves, but that has no. Everyone's still slaves. Even you two-time losers, the so-called white folks who are doing bad in this society are slaves as well. Okay, so I mean, we all have social security numbers. We all have to answer to the so-called white man. We're all still in slavery, and it's just a newer form of slavery. Okay, when they don't need chains, they got your number one. They got your mind. Number two, they got you in finances. They got you in your daily activities because you have to work to keep your life going in this place. You can't just sit back and, for the most part, okay, you do have rich people that are up here, but that's not us for the most part. You do have some bits and pieces, some people here and there who can do that, but for the most part, Jake is on the bottom, okay? And we're on the bottom for a reason. Number one, because the Most High deemed it to be that way. We went off from our power, so we do have to suffer in this lower estate. But the way the system is set up in America, we're bound to drown. We're it's like you on your march, you said go, and then they trip us at the start. Okay, they tie our shoes together, and now we're trying to race to the finish line after we already fell. Everyone else is already sprinting, and we got to deal with our shoelaces being tied. That's how it is being a Jake in America. Let me see. This is Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. So you shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So this land is defiled, okay, by the blood. You killed us. You hung us. You beat us. You chopped off our foot if we tried to run. You raped the men. You raped the women. You raped the children. I mean, what more do you want me to say? This land is defiled. Okay, it says, so you should not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood defileth the land. The land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood that is shed therein. So you want to give us some land? You want to give us 25,000 for the people in that little town, but anyway, you want to try to give a reparation for some land that's already been defiled. We don't want that little piece of land. We want your blood, all right? And that's going to be the cost that you're going to have to pay. That's what you're going to have to come up off of, and the Most High is going to make that so. This is Here we go. This is Revelation chapter 18, verse 6. It says, "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double into double according to her works. And the cup which she has filled to her. Cup which she has filled to her double." So, what was that cup that you filled to us? slavery. Okay? Everything that I mentioned beforehand. The rape, the robbery, the murder. Throwing us overboard for shark bait, pretty much. Feeding the babies to alligators. Smallpox blankets. Okay? All the illnesses that you brought over here. The natives showing you how to farm, showing you how to live in this land. And what did you give them? How did you reward them? With murder. You killed them. While the men would go out to hunt, you kill the women. Alright, so that's what's going to be rewarded unto you. It says in the double according to your works. Yeah, I'll just end it with this. I mean, there's more scriptures I could definitely get concerning slavery. You know, this is the main one. This is Revelation 13 and 9.